Yo, and welcome back to the Silver and Black Radio podcast where we are doing our mini series, our lunch break,
You
Raider
already know.
Talk,
Let's go.
baby. Yes, sir. I'm here with Tony Bova. Tony, so, hey, let's get it down right now that we're on the lunch break. We got a quick 15. So, questions for you today, brother. Hey, is our future quarterback on the roster currently with the Raiders?
No, I don't believe so. And with that being said, I'm not saying that he's not going to be a successful quarterback. I don't believe AOC is ready to be a starting quarterback at this moment, and I think whoever we bring in is going to be head and shoulders like everybody's going to be like, "It's have you won for me right now?" So when they come in, they be
Okay.
successful. He's going to be the guy going forward. So they got to move forward, and they got to. I mean, he's going to be a good quarterback in the league. He'll be a great game manager, a good backup to go in there and to maybe not make as many mistakes as he has been making now with all that pressure on him. But I don't see him. I don't see the quarterback of the future being on the Raiders at this moment.
All right. So if you feel that way, then in your opinion, do we trade for a quarterback? I mean, like the available guys that I think that are going to be available at the moment that come up to mind are Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, maybe a Trey Lance out of Dallas since he was, an extra guy. Would you think any of those guys are enticing? And if you do think any of those guys are enticing, what would you trade for?
The only I I would take Trey Lance off. I mean, personally, it's not the way it's not the way I would go for me or for my liking. I wouldn't be opposed to picking up a Justin Fields. If the price is right, I guess you can say. Um, he's gonna be probably less expensive than some of the rookies that we're gonna pull in. We're gonna have to pay a lot on some of these rookies coming in, maybe with some of those contracts, if not now in the near future. Um, so if we can move up in the draft and get a quarterback that one of the top ones that we want, like that they're saying that they want the Daniels, the Williams, like all
Yeah.
those guys. I foresee Fields being a very viable option. We need a mobile quarterback that can
Okay.
send the plays. He hasn't been that successful in Chicago, but they also didn't set up a weapons around him to make him that successful. And that's the problem we have with AOC is like he's playing on these games with a makeshift offensive line.
I got
So
you.
give him the full offensive line, and maybe he'll be a good guy, but like right now, if we're trying to win right now, and I'm not talking about this season, but right away, I say draft one of those quarterbacks or give me Fields.
Okay.
But I don't know
So
what I would give for Fields, though. I really don't know what I would give up for Fields.
And
Not
that's
too
the
much.
thing. When we look at Justin Fields, all right, we'd have to look at that. We're gonna have to pick up that 5th year option and then re-sign him if that's a move that you want to make. So we talked a little bit about Justin Fields. We talked about Kyler Murray. Now, let's say those options. In my opinion, the Bears are going to ask for a one for Justin Fields, and we just have so many holes that if we give up a one for him, it's too much. They're just going to ask too much. So then we'd look at the free agency, right? Now, let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you like this. Okay, let's say price is too high. We move on to free agency, right? You got Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Baker Mayfield, Marcus Mariota, Sam Darnold, Gardner Minshew, Tyrod Taylor, Drew Lock, and Jameis Winston all coming up on free agency. Do any of those guys entice you to say, hey, that guy can be the quarterback of the future of the Raiders?
Um, I don't know about future of the Raiders, but they would make us many of those names on that list would make us successful in the immediate, like get us some. They would get us more wins than they cost us losses. I guess you could say. Um, but they're also free agents for a reason. Like if they were the guy, they would still be the guy. And I'm not saying that they can't be successful, but a lot of those names are a little past. Are we going to go through another Garoppolo situation where we're getting a quarterback with a dead arm that can't throw the ball down the field? Or are we going to try to get a guy who's younger that can extend plays and keep us in the game and not just be like, oh, here we go again? Because I guarantee you, if you don't get that guy and you strike out again, the revolt is going to be huge. It's coming again. Like every year, it's like we want to win now. We want to win now, but we're not. And it's crazy. So
No. I got you. So if you think about that, we said, hey, we said you feel like the quarterback's not on the roster. There's a possibility you'd like to see if maybe Justin Fields for the right price. If we go into a trade, we've talked, hey, free agency. Now we're talking again the future of the Raiders. With that number one pick right now, we're looking about being the sixth round pick. If there's a quarterback available, um, Daniels is being linked a lot to us out of LSU. Um, a guy falls, let's say Caleb Williams falls, a quarterback falls, and we have a quarterback on that sixth spot. Do we draft? And do we say, hey, do we look at the future? Or do we fill it with one of these guys and stopgap it and say, hey, we got to win right now. We're going to stopgap it. Or do we go the process of the draft? What's the best option in your mind for the Raiders? And that's the way we're going to close this one out.
I think we got to take a quarterback. We got to take a guy that we could put as the franchise, the face of the franchise at the quarterback position. There's been years where we've taken one need over another need, and I'll use the example. We took Robert Gallery that year that we went over Larry Fitzgerald. Well, we needed a wide receiver bad, and we also need an offensive line to block to get the wide receiver. So we went Gallery thinking that, well, shoot, we can't block nobody. We can't throw it to him if we don't got someone to block. So we took one need over the other, but we need a quarterback, and we can't bypass a quarterback this draft or this offseason. So if you're not already moving on a free agent quarterback or making a trade for Justin Fields already, come draft day, and that name is called, and you don't have something in place already, you have, and if they say a name that's not a quarterback first round, they have something already in the works. They have to, because you got to get a quarterback to be the face of your franchise, and we don't have one yet.
Okay. You heard it here first. Tony Bova's take on the best options at quarterback. And in his take, we have to take a quarterback in the first round and ride with that. He doesn't feel like we have AOC. He doesn't feel like he's going to be a good one, but he's going to be a good backup somewhere, a good game manager. Again, Tony B with his thoughts on the quarterback position for the Raiders, baby.
You already know.
Lunch
Let's go.
break. Yes, sir.
Sweet.